That's a beautiful thing. There's no fanaticism. There's no, I'm the new prophet. I'm the final prophet. This is the highest realization. Talk will never say such a thing. No one else will prompt it. Right? You won't hear that here either. Except Sri Ramakrishna. He's the only way. Right? But love for the Divine Mother will drive one to it spontaneously. And so Sri Ramakrishna, we know that Swami Vivekananda in his glorious life, short but glorious life, he did mother's work, without a doubt. Right? And a lot of it was done here, so we're the heirs of his tradition here too. But that child of the Divine Mother who did mother's work, Thakur held the key. But those keys, that's a very nice symbol. Those keys are still around, laying around somewhere. Right? We can also find those keys. So one of my favorite, of course, we're aspiring devotees of the Divine Mother, so we also looking for Kali statements that make us better than everybody else, right? And appropriate response. But what Thakur says is actually this idea of thinking, God, you are my mother, I am your child. Right? He says this is the final word of religion. This is the final word of spirituality, Thakur said. Right? It's a very big thing. And Kali, the very misunderstood goddess, and there's many ways of worshiping her, not all of them safe, not all of them clean. Right? He practiced at the 64 tantras, but when his disciples came, including Vivekananda, what did he teach? His guru taught him 64 very difficult practices. I won't say them. I will just confuse you if I say it. I confuse me if I think about them. You know. But when he came to his disciples, that's Guru Parampara. He taught him. He taught his disciples. He taught you pray to the Divine Mother like a child. You pray to the Kali like a child to its mother. Right? And then that all desires for the world, Kamini Kanchan, are destroyed by this simple act. Right? So this is a unique presentation of special mercy of Divine Mother Kali in this age through her dear child and incarnation, and his dear child and vehicle, Vivekananda. I very much appreciate, when Swamiji invited me to come, I felt it was Swamiji's own invitation. And there's a verse in the Gita that says that the Lord fulfills the noble desires of the devotees, right? And I've only had a few noble desires in my life, right? And each one of them, sometime 20 years later, get fulfilled, right? And one of which, years ago, I'm watching Swami Vivekananda do puja, when I was still learning puja at the time, in the other room. I was like, well, we need to worship these pictures of Sri Ramakrishna. So he fulfilled that very much with that. Sri Ramakrishna, Jai Thakur, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The time was 6 minutes late, so
it's okay. I'd like to thank Swami Bhajanananda for coming today and sharing his wonderful experiences. One suggestion is that in their Kali Mandir, every year they have a big puja towards Mother Kali. And it's usually in July?
Sometime like that. Right?
Around July.
It's a Palaharni Kali Puja.
Yeah.
Palaharni Kali Mother.
Yes. And so it's worth going to. I think it's actually for 3 days. Is it 3 days?
Well, now we used to do it. We used to bring the priest from Dakshineshwar.
Right.
We had, but our
the actual
head priest passed away. So
right.
now we're still doing the festival. We used to rent a school, and it was a big thing to bring the priest. But things have changed. He was the head priest at Dakshineshwar for 53 years. And he's the one that installed our Murti of Kali. And so our puja tradition is from the Dakshineshwar taught by him. So we're still brokenhearted about his untimely passing. So now we still do it, but we do it at the temple.
I see.
Yeah.
See, they used to invite the actual priest at Dakshineshwar to come to their place every year, and he would do the Kali puja. So, is he a relative?
Yeah, he's by marriage. He's in Ramakrishna's family. Yeah.
I see. Oh. So it's a wonderful. It is in the summertime. If you haven't, it's only about an hour 50-minute drive from here. So you should try to go.
But I thought parking's limited there.
Parking is limited, so you have to make some arrangements.
I can't get the RSVP.
Yeah, call. We're having more problems with parking for the neighbors, so that's why we're doing more limits. We can't have big crowds. That once a year crowd, Palaharni, we have arrangements with neighbors. Our problem is like Shama Kali Puja, we had 420 people.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And we have 40 parking spaces and room for 100 people. So that's non-sustainable.
You need to get a shuttle bus.
Yeah, so we're having to make adjustments. Our normal monthly things we're no longer doing the big programs. We're doing special big pujas throughout the year and just more we're kind of switching more to ashram mode than big public mode. Anyway, we can discuss that. I don't want to lose time.
So thank you everyone for coming, and so if we do have, if you're new, we have lectures on Sundays, and many of you may know Swami Bhajanananda, the Swami who's our new assistant minister. He'll be giving a retreat in the first week of March on Saturday.